everybody and welcome to our channel. Today I've got a set of oak drawers. Now these drawers were possibly made, I would say mid to late 50s, early 60s. Now they are solid oak, however the finish has deteriorated over time. They need to be sanded back and I'm going to refinish them. Now the other thing that's not quite right with this, and oh god, yes, it's a set of drawers with 3 legs instead of 4, and as you can see it's not very stable, so I'm going to have to sort that out as well. So anyway, that's my mission: sand back, brighten up, repair, and let's see if we can get these things back to where they were and ready for another 60-70 years of service. Hey, we can only but try. Alright, so enjoy the journey. It's a difficult job breaking up the old varnish from the surface of the wood. Firstly, I used 80 grit sandpaper, which is quite coarse, then graduated through 120 and then finished up with a fine 240 grit, which worked really well. However, the sanding was painful and very hard to get the varnish off the surface of the wood. I could have used a paint stripper, but it's messy and expensive. I have a heat gun and effectively cooking the varnish and separating it from the wood. Then sanding became quite easy. So it definitely pays to get a heat gun on this particular project. Sanding the drawer frame also offered a few challenges, but however, with a bit of time and patience, we managed to get through it. I decided that I had enough of the hand sanding after a while and decided to use good old-fashioned common sense. Fortunately, I've got a nice orbital sander, and I started using that on the top and then finished off with the sides. So sometimes it's good to use the old hands and get things done, but sometimes it's a heck of a lot quicker if you employ a little bit of machinery. So there you go, get one of those as well. They're fairly cheap, and you can get them at your local hardware store for next to nothing. So as you can see there's your problem. So we're going to glue that, and then we're going to put this little bit in place here, and then we'll clamp it together. This Gorilla Glue bonded on is absolutely wonderful. Recommended to me by a boat builder a long time ago, and it has saved my bacon. So if you're going to have to glue pieces of wood together like this is the product to use. As you can see, I've got a couple of clamps here. I've put a nail through there. I've countersunk it just to hold the whole thing steady. So the whole idea is clamp it up, squeeze it, leave it, and then let it set for a good 24 hours. By that time, this stuff is rock solid. Alright, so we're all ready to go. Putting the leg back on. We've got this all secure. Alright, I put some glue on the inside, and away we'll go. A little bit more glue around here. It's got a little chamfer on it, so we'll just slot it in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put it on its feet, and that'll put pressure on it, and it'll help the glue set. Right, so all the sanding's done. We're now going to get on with the varnishing side of things. Some clear water-based varnish that I'm going to apply to this, which is my next job. I'm going to use a varnish for this, and I'm using a Resene acrylic semi-gloss varnish. I've used this particular product because I don't want to change the colour of the wood too much. Apply this with a foam brush, and just take your time. Alright, so let's get this going. This stuff dries pretty quickly too, so you don't have to stand around all day. And you can see that's coming on quite nicely.
Again, it pays to get your sanding right. Finishing is really important here, and making sure that it's you've got a nice even coat. And as I said, it dries very, very quickly. And away we go.
Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Where do we go from here? Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Where do we go from here?
Well, this is the conclusion of our draw restoration. The best part of any journey is to arrive at the destination. The journey here was really monumental. Getting the old finish off was really hard. I eventually had to use a heat gun to get the old varnish off. We succeeded. So once I'd refinished it, I then applied some semi-gloss water-based acrylic varnish, and it's worked pretty nicely. It looks a lot better now, a lot cleaner, and we've got a nice result. And it's now a four-legged set of drawers instead of three. No more collapsing, that's got to be good. And it's quite a pretty little piece. I like the way this set of drawers looks. It looks so much better than what it was. And I think it's all ready for another 50 or 60 years of service. So thanks for following. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. Alright, take care everybody, and bye.